Hello, hello, my beloved waking gods and goddesses. Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Love, Truth, and Beauty. Do it yourself for Divine in the Flesh, where our PTSDs, our pains, traumas, suffering, and dramas are golden gateways to waking up and staying awake. Where together we learn how to navigate the totality of human experience in this perception-managed reality, having discovered that our true divine creative natures in our true sensual sensorial world of seven senses have all been hijacked and dumbed down into the big fat lie of the limitations of five sense reality. Before we get started, please do give this video a thumbs up and please help me out by sharing this video with your friends, family, and communities, social media platforms, and with whom you may know a person who might benefit from my content. Please also comment, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that when I upload, the YouTube will let you know. I generally upload Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern. My name is Mario West, and I am your hostess of the highest, here to download, upload, inspire, and usher you into your bestest and brightest light, your bestest and brightest selves, and inviting you all to open your hearts wider and wider and wider still. Okay, that's better. I can see. Ha. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to offer you my 2 cents on our huge week of retrogrades. Retrogrades of Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter, respectively, on top of the already retrograding Pluto that started 2 weeks ago. I believe it was the 25th of April at 24 Capricorn. And that stations direct almost 6 months later on the 5th of October in 22 Capricorn. So we are already, my friends, checking out our shadow selves, our deepest and darkest fears, all that death and dying, our mortality, and all that freaky shit, all that shit that goes bump in the night, okay? And just a reminder that every year that all the big outer, big orbit planets, they go retrograde, okay? So Jupiter, Saturn retrogrades every year, a third of every year. And Jupiter and Saturn are up this week. Now, coming up in June, the day after the summer-winter solstice, June 22nd, Neptune goes retrograde through the 28th of November. And then Uranus will retrograde on the 15th of August in Taurus and will station direct on the 14th of January 2021 in Taurus. So we got a lot of retrogrades coming up amidst the shit show that continues on, okay? Now, this past Monday, the 11th of May, Saturn went retrograde at 1 Aquarius, and it'll come back through Capricorn again on July 1st, then stationing direct on the 29th of September in 25 Capricorn, which is my rising sign to the degree, which heralds the last bits of this transit of Saturn in Capricorn that began 2.5 years ago on the 19th of December in 2017. And this transit will finally complete coming up this December 17th, 2020. And it doesn't happen again for 28 years, in which I'll be 88. That's good fucking news for me, because I have Saturn in Capricorn natally and Capricorn rising, a Capricorn job, a Capricorn mission, my 10th house Mercury in Scorpio with my 0 filters of mouthing offness, my 8th house Venus in Virgo, all the sacredness and truth at all costs. And it's a tough serve for my 9th house beauty and loving Libra sun, and my 5th house Gemini moon of fun, loving, merry-making craziness of a tribe. So it's helpful during this Saturn retrograde for all of us to have a good look-see and review of our last 2.5 years in our lives relative to Saturn in Capricorn, this transit that's been a bitch for a lot of us, okay? Both of which represent, okay, both of which, Saturn and also Capricorn, representing the patriarchy, matriarchy polarity, the polarity of perpetrator and victim. And all the shit needs to be upgraded so that we can evolve our consciousness from victim to victorious. Okay, now bearing in mind that the matriarchy, patriarchy polarities are flip sides of the same divisive divide and conquer coin. I know a lot of folks fucking hate my ass for saying that shitty truth, but it doesn't change the facts. Okay, so we're all being called out to activate the true divine masculine principle of gifting giving, that is taking inspired action, taking defensive action when physically threatened with harm, that is defending the true divine feminine and or anchored in active stillness and non-action, so that we are partnered up with the receptive, magnetic, non-aggression principle of the divine feminine. Now, the divine masculine principle of gifting giving and the divine feminine principle of receiving and non-aggression, okay, these both comprise our seventh sense. And of course, in order to do that, we also need to embody and activate our sixth sense, our superpower of intuition. And this is the superpower right here, my friends, that is the one key that enslaves humanity from the demonic overlords expressing through the powers that wanna be and lamestream media and pop culture and all that crap, okay? So let's ask ourselves, how have our ideals and foundations shifted in the last 2.5 years? Okay, have our egos been checked? And if so, by whom? By what? And how did it happen? So these are all good reviews. Saturn represents dad and father time. So have we all healed our daddy and authority issues such that we're able to stand steadfast in our own authority and our own sovereignty? Do we even know what the fuck authority and sovereignty mean? Do we know what that means? I don't know. Are you ruled by time, by erroneously believing that you are the taker of time? Or are we aligned with that elevated sense of time, that we are the makers of time? So these are good questions. So between now and the end of September, we're getting a chance to integrate the shifts in consciousness and the upheaval of the world at large since the shitstorm we've been compelled to experience began. And funnily enough, just as Saturn entered into Aquarius in March, okay, Aquarius representing the freedom-loving, rebellious, fuck off, we can do it better and go higher and love grander and live huge energy. And then what the fuck happened, right? 7 months, yeah? Lockdown across the planet. We've been forced to be more present and to show up in the most mundane and, for some people, boring ways, undistracted. There's nowhere to run. And also inundated with techie toys to stay connected, you know, that compulsion to stay connected and to check your emails, check your texts, check your social media, So we got to check ourselves, okay? Remember, the world is not the planet, and Aquarius knows this. So as we open up over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months until the beginning of July, we get to feel into and hopefully enjoy the taste of Saturn in Aquarius before it makes its last bits of movement back through Capricorn into just before the winter summer solstice on the 17th of December. Okay, so we need to turn into our personalized components of freedom. You know, turn into that, tune in, check out what that means for you. What is freedom? Freedom of evolution and growth. Now, Aquarius is a fixed sign, so this is about taking in, receiving information, and allowing that information and your imagination and your ideas to percolate. All these ideas and ideals that allow an elevation of consciousness, personalized and collective, because it ain't just about you, so that it opens us up to leaning toward collaboration with one another. The age of Aquarius is upon us. Some say it's here. Others say we have another 500 some odd years. Whatever, okay? Change is happening. And this change, the changes, this is radical change. Now, Aquarius is the water bearer, and I love how she's represented in the star card. So this star card is from my very first tarot deck, the Hoi Polloi, which came out in 1973. That's right, kids. I was about 13, 14 years old. My mother was appalled because these are evil things. No, they're not. They're not. Okay, so check her out. And I love that part of her is in water. She's got 1 foot in water, which represents the emotions, the subconscious. And then she's also anchored on the earth. Notice that she carries 2 pitchers of water, which are not collecting water, but returning water. Water representing the emotions, the subconscious, that are now healed and integrated, and water poured onto earth, okay? Representing sustenance, nourishment, life-giving. And the 7 stars representing our cosmic superpowers of our divine creative natures in our physical bodies, okay, housed, hosted in our 7 chakras. So the question that I want to pose to all of us is, what are you willing to give up, to let go, sacrifice, or personally contribute, okay, personally give for this next step in your evolution, in our evolution, in order to receive our next set of skills in our collective human evolution as empowered by this age of Aquarius. Okay? All right. Moving on. All right. So today I'm filming. Today is Wednesday, the 13th of May, and Venus went retrograde and is going to go direct on the 25th of June. Now, Venus goes retrograde every 18 months. So think about what you were working through 18 months ago. So that would be the end of fall 2018, October, November 2018. Venus retrograde has a reputation for being an emotional, psychodramatic retrograde. Okay, stop that, okay? We don't need to succumb to that kind of foreboding mind control in New Age bullshit's hijacking of astrology, okay? Y'all know I'm not a fan of pop anything, okay? Where it's recommended that you don't change your hair, your clothes, your furniture, remodel your house, re-landscape. Don't make any changes, any drastic changes, or else you're going to regret it. Or never start a business, never start a new relationship, love, or business during a Venus retrograde, because that shit never works out. It's a fucking disaster, okay? I want to reframe Venus retrograde. So what I want you to do is I want you to review the last 18 months since the last Venus retrograde, okay, from October, November 2018. And I want you to journal about 3 things you need to forgive yourself for, okay? Number 2, then I want you to journal about 3 things that you have fucking rocked since that time, all right? And then the third exercise is I want you to make a list of new intentions for this Venus retrograde that would allow you to step onto a new and empowering platform of relationships, for relationships, personal and interpersonal and beyond. Okay, we're unwinding some of the mind control around these retrogrades. Can't you tell? So in the description box below, I've included a link for astrologer Richard Knoll's 300-year Venus retrograde table that spans from the year 1801 to 2100. Okay, now just for fun, for shits and giggles, what I want you to do is look back over the whole of your life and check out what was happening specifically during a Venus retrograde. And if you feel inspired to apply the 3 exercises that I just mentioned to dissolve any outstanding baggage during these times. Okay, just a suggestion, just to have fun with it. I did it for myself. And yeah, there's some fun shit. So if you want to hit me up for some of those goodies, email me. I'd be happy to share. I'm not going to take the time to do it because I tend to yak. Okay. All right. Tomorrow is Thursday, the 14th of May. Jupiter goes retrograde at 27 Cap and then stations direct on the 12th of September at 17 Capricorn. Okay, now Jupiter is the planet of expansion and freedom. And how interesting that, like Venus and Saturn, it goes retrograde when we're getting ready to open from our imposed quarantine. It's an interesting reset, a slowing down of expanding during a compelled lockdown, a recalibration by a planet whose influence tends to expand everything it touches. Yet, what we've actually experienced is a reset in how we expand under a compelled lockdown or quarantine. And some of us had to discover the new possibilities of moving businesses onto the internets and learning new skills of online platforms, learning Zoom, changes in the big picture, or feeling the opposite, the constriction of not being able to move freely, of having to do things you don't want to do, like homeschool your kids, all that kind of good stuff. Jupiter retrograde allows for us to integrate and incorporate all the growth, painful and compelled and slow, to take stock, to be thankful, to reevaluate, asking ourselves about these shifts that you've experienced since the lockdown. Are they working for you? Are these sustainable? Or do you need to upgrade it? Do you need to downgrade it? Do you need to eliminate it? Fucking get rid of it? Do you need to appreciate it more? Are you thankful for it? Does it rock your world even better than you thought? Okay, now bear in mind, when it comes to expansion, every expansion has an equal and opposite contraction. Okay, every expansion has an equal and opposite contraction. So nothing to fear. Allow the slowdown, because this allows for more enjoyment, for more savoring of all the things and all the people that matter to you. And also give yourselves a big high five, okay, for living through this uncertainty thus far. Jupiter retrogrades allow for a deepening and acceptance of uncertainty so that we can learn to relax, so that we don't have to know everything. We never can know everything. Okay, so being present and in the moment, not attached to outcomes and its polarities, allows for a relaxation of our nervous system. Not attached to knowing what the big picture is all about the details, okay? And this is also applicable to the Saturn retrograde. And so we get to examine our own relationship to this polarity of knowing and not knowing, of being a victim and feeling perpetrated upon, all of that, okay? And also along with the polarity of Jupiter's expansiveness and its contraction, Jupiter also looks for beauty amidst the things that we don't want to see. It's also about quality over quantity. Okay, now bearing in mind that we are prepping for the grand conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in 1 degree of Aquarius that's coming up on the winter-summer solstice on the 21st of December 2020, this is a good thing. This is good work. This is part of doing the great inner work. Okay, my love bugs, that is my speech. Please do give this video a thumbs up. Please comment and share your experiences and share this video with your communities, friends, and family members with whom you feel would benefit from my content and contact. Yeah, I can't talk. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that the YouTube will let you know when I upload. And if you find value, enjoy, or benefit from my videos, won't you please consider supporting my work through a donation? My PayPal link is right below, as is my contact information where you can email me with any questions. Give me a week or two to respond. You can also query about how to work with me one-on-one or train with me and learn direct from me how to become a force of cosmic nature to be reckoned with as a trauma-based mind control deactivator, learning my work of the last 3 decades, or you can find out how to receive a free download of my first edition of my book, Effed Wide Open, The Rude Awakening of the Heart-Based New Humanity, or you can support me directly by purchasing one of the editions. The Amazon links are below, as with my social media links, so that you can connect with me. I thank you so much for your participation and focused attention. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, be the love that you are. Share your love. Be kind, be gracious, be your beautiful self. Here's to love, truth, and beauty, my friends. Mwah!